What's up, everyone? I'm having a little problems being sick right now, so I'm going to bring you guys an old video. This is the Baratoplata from the standing position. So, this was a video I probably shot about over 3 years ago, but I was still at Big John McCarthy's gym here in Valencia. So I'm showing you guys how I get a Russian 2-on-1 right now, just talking about the control. The normal Russian 2-on-1 you do with a grip. If you notice my left hand, an underhand grip, but I'm going to change it to an overhand grip. Okay, which isn't typical. There's some guys that like that grip, but most of the time you want to grab underhand. But because we're going to a Baratoplata, we're going to want to change our grip to an overhand grip with our left hand. Okay, so real basic Russian 2-on-1, good wrist control. My opponent's going to try to usually pull his arm to him. I'm pulling his arm across my chest. He's going to pull it to him. He's also going to bring his left leg back. He doesn't want me to attack that leg. That's going to help open this position up so that I can attack him for this Baratoplata. So as I'm trying to pull his arm and he's trying to pull back, I bring my left foot close and I'm going to step my right foot right on his hip. Okay. So I want to get that foot on the hip. That will be the foot on the hip for the Baratoplata. He's going to step his left leg back. I'm going to put it on his hip. And then first I'm going to show you guys how the normal attack would be to go to like a triangle. So as I sit down, my left leg is going to wrap for a triangle. And that would be like on a very basic level. Obviously this move is advanced, but you know, that's probably what most people's alarm bells are going to be going off is for the triangle. So if you were to go foot in the hip and then just wrap up a triangle. Real common, like in the gi, you'll see that kind of attack fairly often. Again, I change the grip to the left-handed over grip, and then I go foot on the hip, but this time, instead of passing it right around his neck, where he wants to keep his right hand inside, he doesn't want to, allow that. I'm going to pass my left leg all the way over his head. So we're going to bypass not just his arm for the triangle, but we're going to bypass his head for the Baratoplata. At the same time, I want to feed the wrist inside so it gets stuck in the crotch. And my left leg now is passed over the head. My right hand, it was on the elbow, bicep area of the 2-on-1, is going to thread all the way across to my thigh, to my quadriceps as deep as possible. Left leg, you want to make sure that that's going down the back on top of the shoulder. My right foot's already in the hip, showing you how I close my right thigh, keeping everything snug. My left hand wants to make a grip either underneath the armpit. If he stands up, I'll go to his leg. There's different grips you can make so you can gain some leverage in order to push off the hip and drive the pressure of this intense shoulder lock. So quick mention to Rafael Freitas. This is the move that he made popular. As far as I know, came up with the move. Some people have said that it was always around. I had never seen it before, and I knew quite a few moves, so I'm not so sure. But either way, the credit goes to Rafael Freitas. So again, showing the 2-on-1. Opponent pulls his elbow back. Step my right foot in the hip. And then as I fall, I'm going to fall a little bit towards my right, which is going to help me pass my left leg around. Personally, I'm not super flexible, so I struggle with these kind of things. But if you notice how I spin, by spinning a little bit to my right, I'm able to pass my left leg over his head. Okay, I've got my right foot in the hip. Notice my right hand. Everything's nice and perfect right on landing. Your left leg needs to bite down. You have to bite down so that he can't pull his left arm out. And then make sure you feed your right hand in deep. If you don't have it in deep, sometimes you won't have enough steam to finish the move. So you want to make sure your right hand is very deep. If he tries to stack, you activate your foot on the hip. And then now it's time to look for our grips. Okay, right here, again, the audio on this video was terrible. So that's one reason why I'm doing a voiceover just like I used to in the old days. I'd love to go under his arm, but sometimes he'll block your hand or close his elbow. So I'm going to grab onto his head. There's nothing wrong with a simple collar tie. If he tries to free up the collar tie, that's when I'll pummel underneath his armpit. And if my opponent stands, then definitely I'm going to be looking for the leg. You do not want him to stand and rip right out. you'll have some explosive guys try to do that by underhooking their leg. They're going to be in a tough spot. It's going to probably tear their shoulder. Be careful, and then obviously be aware when this happens in competition. Guys frequently will fall down. So when you underhook the leg, it's common that they will fall down. Normally I have to move my hips a little bit more, but in this case of what I'm showing, it ended right there. But sometimes you actually have to keep shifting your hips. So let's see. So where I am, this is where my cameraman starts shaking all around again. This was poor footage. Well, the camera's awesome, but the audio was terrible, so I never ended up releasing this footage 3 years ago. Russian 2-on-1, change the grip, show you how I get in. Look at just tapping his leg, making him step back. That gives you room to put the foot in the hip, and you can spin right into the Baratoplata. So this is a cool attack. I mean, obviously it's advanced. It's not something that I expect everyone to be able to do, but through practice, there's a lot of you guys out there that might be able to benefit from this. And it's something I can share with you guys while I'm sick and bedridden at home. So I'm starting to get a little bit better, but still need to get a lot better before I get back in the gym. So if you guys want to support me, check out my Patreon link down in the description box. Thank you guys so much. Teach Me Grappling. That's it for today. I'll try to come out tomorrow with a new technique. All right. Thank you guys so much. Take it easy.